Well, we're in the middle of our first stretch of 100s, and something that I've been doing for years to keep the power bills down and the house a little cooler is by solar cooking. Joining me right now is Caitlin Hughes from Solar Cookers International. Founded in 1987, this organization is more than just about solar cooking. Thanks so much for joining us today. Let's just start off with, what is solar cooking?
Yeah, solar cooking. So Solar Cookers International specializes in solar thermal cooking. Solar thermal cooking, you collect and absorb sunlight and retain heat to cook food. You can also use it to heat water to make it safe to drink in communities that wouldn't have that otherwise. You can also use solar cookers for solar drying, increasing food security.
Okay, and this, but I want to point this out because I'm sure people were like, what is this? This is the reflection that you would get from the sun, and then you put a pot right in the middle.
Exactly. So yes, you're directing that sunlight. Often you use a black pot because it absorbs the heat, and then you have something to help retain that heat and trap it. So if you think about your car on a hot day parked in the sun, it gets hotter. Same principles in terms of solar cooking. There's actually hundreds of different types. So there's actually open source plans on our website, or you can buy it. There's also ones that are like rooftop steam systems that can cook for thousands of people at a time, and everything in between.
Okay, so how can this be a solution for both communities nationally and internationally?
Yeah, so we are working to address a challenge that affects over 2 billion people. That's with a B. So that's about 1 in 4 people worldwide who are cooking over open fires. And that's so bad for people's health and the environment. But solar cooking is a very powerful solution. So it can be off-grid, and one family can save 1 ton of wood from burning that for cooking with a solar cooker.
And so energy, you talked about wood. Energy is a big topic right now. How does solar cooking help people adapt to their changing needs for energy?
One of the places we've been working for years, thanks to our supporters, is Kakuma Refugee Camp in Kenya. And the options there are not great. You can't just push a button or turn a dial to cook. Your options are to cut wood, which is actually illegal, so very harmful, and the wood is disappearing. Or people can trade their very limited food rations for fuel to be able to cook the remaining food. Also not a great option. That's why solar cooking is so important and so powerful, especially in these communities, because the sun is delivered right to our doorstep every single day.
Yeah, and it's not just for those communities, as you were mentioning, and what I do in my backyard. It's really something that everyone could do. I think one of the interesting things, too, because I was at a talk, I don't know if you were at this one, they were able to do it in the mountains when it was very cold outside. If you have the right thermal properties to retain that heat, it's all about sunlight, folks.
Exactly. Yes, all you need is sun. If you can see your shadow, it's a good day for solar cooking. Doesn't matter how warm or cold it is outside.
Okay, so how can people find out more information about solar cookers?
Our website is solarcookers.org, and we have tons of information. We encourage you to solar cook, become a part of the movement. There's lots of great information there.
Okay, thank you so much for joining us on this first day of 100s throughout the valley. Caitlin Hughes from Solar Cookers International.